Hello everyone, this is lecture number 49. In today's lecture, we will try to learn about sludge treatment. So, in this lecture, we will see introduction, then objective and the goal of sludge treatment, sludge handling and disposal, sludge type, primary, secondary, tertiary sludge. Then we will see advantages and the disadvantages, and last one we will see in today's lecture, that is process design of a sludge treatment. So firstly, I would like to start here from introduction. So sludge refer to the residual. Sludge refer to the residual semi-solid material left from industrial wastewater or the sewage treatment process. Wastewater sludge is mixture of wastewater and settled solids. Depending upon the source, it may primary, secondary, excess of activated sludge. So you know that sludge is what? It's a residue. It's a refer for the residual of. It may be related to semi-solid material left from industrial wastewater or the sewage treatment process. Mostly the sludge water or wastewater of sludge is the mixture of the wastewater and settled solids. Okay, now it's depending upon the some source of, it may be a primary, secondary and excess of activated sludge. This is of the introduction. What we can say is sludge is what? It's a residual type. जे काही सॉलिड किंवा सेमी सॉलिड मटेरियल असतात इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट वॉटर मध्ये किंवा सिवेज ट्रीटमेंट प्रोसेस मध्ये जे काही सेमी सॉलिड मटेरियल्स असतात विच इज कॉल्ड स्लज और रेसिड्युअल जे असतात इम्प्युरिटीज टाइप मध्ये ते आपण स्लज म्हणतो. Okay, this is of the introduction. Now what are the objective of sludge treatment? That is very important. That's why the objective of sludge treatment is to reduce the volume of material to be handled by a removal of the liquid portion. Okay, so what in this treatment process, it's a first objective, that is to reduce the volume of the material to be handled by removal of liquid portion. Okay, then secondly objective, you can see here, to decompose the organic matter and the inorganic compound for reduction in the total solid. So what we what we focus on the objective second as a sludge treatment, that is decompose the organic matter and inorganic compound for the reduction of total solid. Okay, so these two are two objectives which is related to the sludge treatment. So here are some goal of sludge treatment that is I shortlisted here. So first goal is what? Volume of reduction. It may relate to the thickening and the dewatering. Okay, the second goal, that is elimination of pathogenic germ, and if used in which that if use agriculture as the fertilizer or the compost at that time, so you want to eliminate the pathogenic germ. The stabilization of organic substances. So stabilization of organic substances was led to the gas production, then reduction of dry content, then improvement of dewatering, then uh, improvement of the dewatering. Is overall three terms, three parameters related to the goal achieving of the stabilization of organic substances. And last one goal achieving through the sludge treatment, that is the recycling of substances. So in the recycling of substances, we can see a reduction of the odor, the nutrients and fertilizers, then humus and the biogas. Is the recycling of substances. So 3, 1, 2, 3 and 4 goal which we have to achieve through the sludge treatment process. So in the sludge handling and the disposal includes, you can see here, sludge handling and disposal includes what? Collection of sludge, then secondly transportation of sludge, third one is processing and the sludge to convert into the form of suitable for the disposal, and the final one, that is final disposal of the sludge. So in this particular sludge handling and disposal, these three four or three parameters is very important. Collection of sludge, transportation sludge, processing of sludge to convert into the form of suitable disposal, and last one final disposal of the sludge. So now we will see as a composition of the sludge, that is very important. So sludge from the plain sedimentation tank. So you know that many times we've seen a flow chart of the wastewater treatment plant, and in which that uh, there are the plain sedimentation. The sludge from that plain sedimentation tank, that will be the settleable solid or raw sludge. Is that clear? It is about the settleable solid or the raw sludge. This gray in color contain bar garbage. Okay, so this is in a what color in content of garbage. It may be related to fecal solids or debris, or it may be bad odor. From secondary settling tank, following the trickling filter consists of partially decomposed organic matter. So from the settling tank, secondary settling tank, the trickling filter consists of a partially decomposed organic matter, partially decomposing organic matter. Okay, and the secondary, third one, that is from secondary settling tank, following a trickling filter consists of partially decomposed organic matter. Okay, so this is what the composition which is related to sludge, which can be taken from the plain sedimentation tank, secondary sedimentation tank, in terms of the different color of the garbages. Then dark brown in a color, less odor than the raw sludge. This is the composition of that sludge. Now, what are the sludge types? Actually, see in the which type of sludge. So first is a primary sludge, in which that 30 to 8% solid are the present. About 70% there are organic material. Then secondary sludge, wasted microbes and inert materials. Then 90% organic material here. And tertiary sludge, which are having, if secondary clarifier is used to remove the phosphate, this sludge contain chemical precipitates. So these three are the types of this sludge, which first one is related to primary sludge, which are having 30 to 8% solid, 70% organic material. Secondary sludge, which are vested of microbes and inert materials, and there are the 90% of organic material. And last one, tertiary sludge, that is, if secondary clarifier is used to remove the phosphate, this sludge contain chemical precipitate. Okay, this is about a sludge types. Now, here are some overview of the primary, secondary, and tertiary sludge. So you can see here, this is the process of water. This is process of the water which you want to the clean here. Now, in which the sludge treatment procedure, in terms of primary, secondary, and tertiary, is that thickening, stabilization, thickening, dewatering, then drying, and the incinerations. Okay, so in which that we can see the stabilization, that is in form of the biogas, and thickening in terms of agriculture. So bottommost what we can see, incineration is that for the atmospheric related to part, and it goes to the for construction industries, it related to the drying and the disposal side. This is about overviews of that particular sludge treatment process. Okay, now thickening. So exactly meaning of thickening is what? Volume reduction by the gravity. Volume reduct by the gravity. Volume reduction by the gravity, which is called as a thickening. So gravity separation similar to the settling tank. Okay. Then additionally mechanism steering to the enhanced flocculation and the extraction of the water and the gas. Additionally mechanisms are used as steering to enhance which what? Flocculation and the extraction of the water and the gas. Supernatant is introduced to primary clarifier, or the if floatable and the grease content are high to grid chamber. Okay, supernatant introduced to the what? Primary clarifier to achieve the purpose of the thickening, that is that means volume of reduction by the gravity. So if floatable and the grease content are the high to grid chamber, then think sludge is withdrawn from the hooper and introduced to the sludge treatment. For an efficient thickening process, is development of the gas bubbles must be prevented here. Okay, this is about what? By gravity thickening or volume reduction by the done through this different types of parameter or different types of factor here. So thickening of volume reduction by the gravity, which can we see here the one picture. Okay, so this is the inflow of a scum skimmer, inflow here, and the scum skimmer here, and through which, okay, the sludge liquid here and thick sludge will be removed through these directions. Okay, this is about thickening of the gravity. So this gravity of flow or gravity of the gradient which can be stored here and can be thickened through this sludge here. So pre-treatment in thickening, now which we will see discuss about thickening by the flotation. Pre-treatment, first we require the thickening by flotation. In the pre-treatment, the mostly chemical fluctuation is required there. The sludge is placed into the contact with the air, saturated water, full flow of the recycle pressurization. The air bubbles attach to the solid particles. Floating sludge bubble composite with collected at the surface, and water is recovered under the scum bubble and the removed it. Okay, this is about the flotation by the thickening. Now thickening by the flotation that we can see is this one of the figure, one of the picture. This is influent, okay, and this is a float out of thickening, and this is what the flotation is actually, that is saturation tank, and here is air control of the panel of the compressor, and here is the pressure pumps through which that influent provided in this directional, and here is by the flotation by the sludge discharge from this one point. This is about thickening by the flotation. Then sludge stabilization, that is very important. So sludge stabilization nothing but as a mass reduction. Okay, so aerobic digestion is very important. Aerobic, that means in presence of the oxygen, and presence of the oxygen there will be the happening the digestion process. So aerobic digestion is the very important in terms of the mass reduction of sludge. Then anaerobic digestion. So just in a previous 2-3 or lecture we discussed about anaerobic digesters. It may term of the absence of oxygen, this sludge can be digest. Then aerobic sludge digestion may be used to the treat only waste activated sludge, then mixture of waste activated sludge and the primary sludge, then activated sludge treatment plant without primary settlings. So this is what the sludge stabilization, or which can say mass reduction. So in particular mass reduction we require aerobic digestion or anaerobic digestion. If they will consider as aerobic sludge digestion, it may use to treat only the waste activated sludge, mix of waste activated sludge or the primary sludge, then activated sludge treatment plant without a primary settling. Now here are some advantages which we see. What are the sludge treatment advantages? So volatile solids reduction is equal to obtain the anaerobically. So what are the, if the sludge having the volatile solid reduction is equally that obtained anaerobically. So lower BOD concentration is supernatant liquid. So there will be the very lower BOD concentration in the supernatant liquid. Then production of an odorless humus like biologically stable, and then operation is relatively easy. Lower capital of the cost. These are some advantages of sludge treatment. Then we can see here disadvantages. A high power cost is associated with the supplying the required oxygen. So this is the one of the disadvantages in sludge treatment process. Then a digested sludge is produced with poor mechanical dewatering characteristics. Okay, so digested sludge is produced with the poor mechanical dewatering characteristics. A useful by the product such as a methane is not recovered. This is the disadvantages of this sludge digestion. Now, what are the processes involved in the sludge treatment process? So, factor that, sorry for that spelling mistake here. The factor that must be considered in designing aerobic digester includes. So, factor which we consider here, the design aerobic digester, presence of oxygen include that solid reduction, then hydraulic retention time, that is HRT, then oxygen requirement, how much it will require when we design the sludge treatment process, then energy requirement for the mixing, and environmental conditions such as the pH and the temperatures. So this factor must be considered when we design the aerobic digester. Okay, this is the process design of a sludge treatment process. Then anaerobic digestion. So In anaerobic digestion, sludge held without aeration for 10 to 19 days. 10 to 19 days. Process can be accelerated by heating to 35 to 40 degrees Celsius. So first anaerobic digestion साठी like I design process आहे sludge held without aeration for 10 to 90 days पाहिजे. Then process can be accelerated by reheating to the 35 to 40 degrees Celsius here. Then these are called at a high rate digester. It may later to 10 to 20 days. Then advantages, then which we should consider while designing of a sludge treatment process, that is low solid production. This is one of the advantages. Then which will be renewable methane gas produced. Then disadvantages, we can see here high capital cost and the susceptibility to shock and overloads it. Okay, this is about the anaerobic digestion. Now anaerobic digestion, these are the simple figure or simple flow process that we can see here. The raw sludge which are provided in this particular assembly and mixes properly here, and a digested sludge which can be seen here. After digestions of the all organic matter, it's used the byproduct of digested gas, that is biological gas or biogas or biofuel, which is called as here. So, but in a circulating pump, heat exchanger circulating pump are provided to give the temperature, to give the heat of the raw sewage, then forwarding particular assembly, and then mix with the properly here, and it can be after after that sludge goes through that four stages, acetone up to the acetone, it will create the digester gas that nothing but as the methane and the carbon dioxide. Anaerobic digestion process, so generally if we consider as complex organic, it gives the organic acid and the hydrogen, and lastly byproduct which gives the methane gas and the carbon dioxide gas. So when complex organic matter go convert into the organic acid as the H2O, that is as a acidic proceeding bacteria may take place here. And after that, organic acid and the hydrogen which we convert into the CH4 and the CO2, that will be take place the methane producing bacteria, that is methogenic, and this is acidogenics. The two stage, this is very important when in anaerobic digestion process. So three mechanism occurring when we use an anaerobic digestion process, that is first is hydrolysis, that means conversion of insoluble high molecular compounds. Okay, so they what in hydrolysis process converges already seen in a previous 2 or 3 lectures, the first stage of digestion, conversion of insoluble high molecular compound, that is lignin or carbohydrates fat, to lower molecular compounds. So this is a hydrolysis stage. It can just convert the insoluble high molecular compound, for example lignin, carbohydrate fat, to the lower molecular compounds. This is a hydrolysis process. In the acidogenesis process, we can see that is a conversion of soluble lower molecular component of fatty acid, amino acid, and the sugars, that is monosaccharides, to lower moleculars intermediate product. Okay, for the, such as volatile acid, alcohol, ammonia, H2, and carbon dioxide. This is the acidogenesis process. And third one is that is methogeneous process, in which that is conversion of volatile acid and the intermediate product to final product of methane and the carbon dioxide. In the methogeneous stage, that is conversion mostly volatile acid and the intermediate product to gives the final product of the methane gas and the carbon dioxide gas. This is three mechanism occurring in the anaerobic digesters. So state anaerobic oxygen free digestion as we included here, particulate and the complex organic, simple organic, which is used as a hydrolysis, that is in a soluble, and soluble simple organic acid, which is goes into acidogenesis stage in short organic acid, and that organic acid gives the methogenesis stage, that is CH4 and the CO2 gas, that means of methane and the carbon dioxide gas. This is a very simple three stage which we are by following the anaerobic digestion: hydrolysis, acidogenesis, and methogenesis. Okay. Now, the most important term as per the syllabus mentioned in sludge dewatering. Dewatering aims to reduce the water content further. Okay, dewatering is word mentioned say that dewatering is aimed to reduce the water content. It's to reduce to the water content in giving sludge. So that's why it's called as a sludge dewatering. Then the sludge can be then handled like a solids. Okay, once a sludge reduce the water content in that sludge, then it can be handled like a solids. Dewatering can be done mechanically using the filter press. Okay, dewatering mostly can be done mechanically using the filter press, employing pressure or the vacuum or the centrifuges. Also be done using drying bed. So drying bed, most popular method. A drying bed is consist of 30 centimeter bed of sand with under the drainage. Okay, it's the most popular method, drying beds. And drying bed consists of 30 centimeter bed of a sand with the under drainage. Sludge is applied on the sand bed and is allowed to dry by the evaporation drainage excess water over a period of several weeks depending upon the climatic conditions. So here we can see here bacterial decomposition of the sludge takes place during the drying process while moisture content in the sufficiently high, and during the rainy season the process may be take a longer time. And here are that bed 30 centimeter which where the raw sewage is allowed through the pass over that it, and it can be used as a sludge dryer system. So you can see here water filter out the leaf of the dried sludge. Okay, this is about today's lecture.